Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast for November 30th through December 6th. My name is Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you're new to the channel, be sure to check the description down below because your sign might be different. All right, Sagittarius, so this week we do have that veil lifting, that fog lifting from Saturn squaring up to Neptune, which is very nice, and a couple of other aspects which are quite nice, which I'll talk about. And it is going to be very transformative. First couple weeks of the month, I feel like. It's going to be Mars squaring up to Pluto, opposing up to Uranus, but it can become very constructive. And I think we'll start to feel that over the weekend. So I'll talk about how to work with that energy as well. But this week with the veil lifting, I think we'll start to feel that on Monday as the sun starts to separate from Saturn and that square up to Neptune. And then as you can see here in the transit graph, that Saturn square Neptune does go outside of its 1 degree orb by the end of the weekend. So it's slow, it's steady, but I think we'll start to feel those shifts, if we haven't already, in fact, since last Friday, around Monday and Tuesday some more. So this has been involving your 12th house, which has been Saturn here, hopefully helping you discipline, take everything seriously, involving spirituality, involving your connection to God, that time out, and having more easygoing energy in life, although the easygoing does take discipline. It's an interesting paradox. So Saturn here, whether it's through your meditations or whatever, prayer, helping you take that stuff seriously. It's a good way to work with this for now the next few years with Saturn in that 12th. Now, right now, though, on a more mundane level, you've had the sun here, so it's been shining that light, shining that torch. So you have that awareness of the unconscious, the psyche, spirituality, perhaps learning a lot about that stuff right now with Mercury here as well. And around Monday, grounding that, taking it seriously, building it can be great, as well as having faith that everything is unfolding in divine timing. Because, this Saturn squaring Neptune has been creating fog and uncertainty about your spiritual connection, about your sometimes, anxieties and things that come up from the real deep aspects of the psyche that we don't even know where they come from or what they're doing. But through, disciplining yourself spiritually, whatever that means for you personally, has been the key with this, as well as having faith that everything on the daily level or with correspondence and communication is unfolding in divine timing, and hard work could be, quite needed there as well. So anyways, all of that is lifting up, and that's a shift here on Monday. Then on Tuesday, Mercury does trine up to Uranus, which is quite nice, in fact, for those behind-the-scenes activities. Could be different, something new. There's been this routine or something that's changing up there with that, and maybe something new and exciting with relationships, as well as maybe even career something or rather around Tuesday, since Mercury rules your 7th and your 10th. But it does depend to the extent of your personal chart to what this is, but at the very least a new fresh perspective in terms of the career and the relationship stuff. Maybe more about going with the flow in those areas, which has been an emphasis for you. So that's the early part of the week. And then on Friday, Mercury does square up to your ruler Jupiter. So there is communication. There is something integrating here with insight. And usually it's something expansive. You've had Jupiter in your 9th house, helping you see that overarching view over almost the past 6 months about life, maybe learning things like astrology, other spiritual sort of studies and things like that. A lot of wisdom coming in from abroad or coming in from higher sources, if you will. And so that could be something new there, something optimistic about that on actually on Friday. And so keep everything nice and grounded because it is involving that square, but work constructively with it because it seems like there's some sort of philosophy or outlook or something that does need to be integrated with everything you're learning right now on that more unknown, no thingness of that 12th house, which is everything, not wisdom. It's more about spiritual experience. So that's going to be Friday. And then over the weekend, the sun does sextile up to Mars. So quite nice here for drive motivation for all of us. Could be in that career front. There's been a lot of drive and motivation for you to get things done in that public level, whether it's with career or work or legacy. So could be a good weekend for that. Now, while this is happening, Mars does start to square up to Pluto. So while there is excitement, maybe there's prana, there's vital life force and all of that, which is quite good to do that career stuff, as well as maybe even to get that rest and spiritual time out. There is change happening specifically around those areas. So when it comes to career, when it comes to spiritual time out, when it comes to your self-expression, because Mars rules your 5th, be open to change, because that's what Pluto is doing, is going to be changing. And when we're the agent of change, when we want to have change in our life, then it becomes much more easier to work with. It just happens very naturally. So restructuring and changing is going to be the key, and diving deep, learning more about yourself spiritually, learning more about yourself in the career front, learning more about your career, learning more about your self-expression and your passions in life, because oftentimes we do see what needs to be changed. And once we see that, and we're aware of that, then we become the agent of change, and this becomes very powerful in that regards, in that you're willing to just get rid of the old, make way for the new, and then those areas become new and more refreshed after this aspect, or during this aspect even too. All right, so that's the general energies of the week. In a nutshell, the highlight is this 12th house, spiritual timeout. Rest and relaxation, could be some exciting things coming in, some optimism from that 9th house of expansion, and that change happening with those areas that I mentioned, but that's mostly going into this weekend and into next week. All right, Sagittarius, so have a great one. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. If you haven't already done so, do sign up for the 2-for-1 readings I'm offering between now and the end of December, which you can find out more on the next page, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.